Depeche Mode, a band that turned synth-pop into something more than just dance music. They not only defined the sound of the 80s, but also influenced rock, alternative, electronic music, and even hip-hop. How? Let's find out. In the early 80s, Depeche Mode emerged as a bright representative of synth-pop, a genre defined by catchy melodies, electronic rhythms, and a sense of youthful optimism. Their debut album, Speak and Spell, introduced the world to upbeat tracks like Just Can't Get Enough, which quickly became club favorites thanks to their infectious energy and light-hearted charm. But the departure of founding member Vince Clarke marked a turning point. With Martin Gore stepping in as the primary songwriter, the band's lyrical and musical direction began to shift. Themes of love and longing gave way to introspection, existential doubt, and emotional depth. The production became moodier, layered, and more experimental, embracing shadows instead of sunshine. By the time Black Celebration was released in 1986, Depeche Mode had fully evolved. The album wasn't just darker. It was cinematic, brooding, and bold. It was a manifesto of their new identity, emotionally raw, sonically innovative, and unapologetically different. This was the beginning of the Depeche Mode that would go on to influence generations. Now comes the most fascinating part. The ripple effect Depeche Mode had on music culture as a whole. Not just one band or one genre, but an entire wave of artists across decades and styles who found inspiration in their unique sound and emotional depth. Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails has openly admitted that without Depeche Mode, his band might never have existed. At a time when rock was dominated by guitars, Depeche Mode dared to express darkness and aggression through machines, proving that electronic music could be raw, emotional, and even threatening. Their use of cold, synthetic textures combined with haunting, introspective lyrics became the blueprint for industrial rock. You can hear echoes of Stripped, Never Let Me Down Again, and blasphemous rumors in the DNA of Nine Inch Nails. The Killers, on the other hand, represent a different side of the spectrum. Frontman Brandon Flowers has often spoken about Depeche Mode as a guiding star, even calling them the coolest band of all time. While the Killers lean more into alternative rock and stadium pop, their music carries a similar emotional urgency. The cinematic build-ups, the tension in the verses, and the grand anthemic choruses all feel like a spiritual continuation of what Depeche Mode pioneered. Then there's Rammstein, a surprising but telling example. You might not expect a German industrial metal band to list Depeche Mode as a core influence, but frontman Till Lindemann has said exactly that. The link is clearer than it seems. Both bands blend powerful synths with theatricality and controlled aggression. And what about modern electronic music? Genres like synthwave, retrowave, and darkwave owe their entire aesthetic to Depeche Mode. Their fusion of analog synths, retro textures, and emotional songwriting became a roadmap for a whole generation of electronic producers. One of the biggest mainstream examples is The Weeknd. His dark, seductive sound, especially on albums like After Hours and Dawn FM, carries unmistakable traces of Depeche Mode's influence. From the pulsating beats to the haunting vocals and neon-drenched visuals, the legacy is clear, and he doesn't hide it. He's openly praised Depeche Mode as a defining inspiration in shaping his musical identity. Depeche Mode's influence is so immense that artists across genres, generations, and continents have paid tribute by covering their songs. These covers aren't just remakes, they're reinterpretations, reimaginings that reflect the depth and versatility of the originals. Here are some of the most iconic and powerful examples. Johnny Cash, Personal Jesus.
Reach out and touch me.
When the Man in Black took on Personal Jesus, he stripped it down to its emotional core. With his gravelly, haunting voice and stark acoustic arrangement, he transformed the song from an electronic anthem into a solemn, gospel-tinged confession. It was no longer about seduction or salvation, it became a spiritual reckoning. Lacuna Coil, Enjoy the Silence. This Italian gothic metal band brought a fresh intensity to Enjoy the Silence. With crushing guitar riffs, soaring melodies, and the ethereal power of Christina Scabbia's vocals, the track was reborn as a heavy yet hauntingly beautiful ballad. It kept the song's soul while giving it a whole new emotional weight. Marilyn Manson, Personal Jesus. On the other end of the spectrum, Marilyn Manson took the same song and drenched it in industrial grit and theatrical darkness. His version is aggressive, raw, and disturbing, turning personal Jesus into a twisted sermon from the shadows. It became an anthem in the industrial and goth scenes, proving how adaptable Depeche Mode's songwriting really is. Rammstein, Stripped. Rammstein's take on Stripped is legendary. They didn't just cover it, they claimed it, turning it into a brutal, cinematic march. With thunderous drums, chilling synths, and Till Lindemann's deep, commanding voice, the song became an industrial war hymn. Cold, forceful, and unforgettable. The Smashing Pumpkins, Never Let Me Down Again. Billy Corgan brought his signature melancholy to this classic. His version is softer, more introspective, like a late-night confession whispered into the dark. It maintains the original's longing and desperation, but colors it with a uniquely alternative rock atmosphere. Linkin Park, Enjoy the Silence. Linkin Park's reinterpreted version of Enjoy the Silence, crafted by Mike Shinoda, is a standout. What makes it even more special is the inclusion of Dave Gahan's original vocals, seamlessly woven into Linkin Park's modern, emotionally charged sound. Heavy guitars, dynamic builds, and a deep sense of yearning give the song new life while honoring its roots. It's a perfect fusion of generations, a bridge between two eras of sonic storytelling. By the way, our music project Neon Galaxies also made cover versions of the songs Personal Jesus and Never Let Me Down Again. Don't forget to watch these videos. Links in the description. Depeche Mode's music wasn't just made for the stage. It transcended albums and concerts, becoming a powerful storytelling tool in film and video games. Their songs added tension, mystery, and unmistakable style to the visual arts, turning scenes into emotional experiences. In cinema, their sound has become synonymous with intensity and atmosphere. Their music doesn't just accompany, it enhances, elevates, and defines. And in the world of gaming, Depeche Mode's presence is just as potent. Whether it's stealth, survival, or emotional unraveling, their music becomes the unspoken voice of the player's journey. It's been over 40 years since the 80s, yet Depeche Mode's influence still echoes in music, film, and games. They proved synthesizers can be dark, powerful, and totally rock and roll. Others may copy their style, but the Depeche Mode phenomenon is truly one of a kind. So, what do you think? Who was most influenced by Depeche Mode? Tell us in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and see you in the next video.
You and I should get along so awfully. People are people, so why should it be? I've been a Depeche Mode fan since I was this big, and my first dream of being a musician was Depeche Mode flew a jet into my school and landed in the playground, came out and announced to everyone that they came there to pick me up because they chose me out of everyone in the world to be the 5th member of Depeche Mode.
That's a good dream.
That is the dopest dream I've ever had.
That's really good.
And they really made me want to be a musician. Like I started singing Depeche Mode songs. I had a huge, 8-foot sized Depeche Mode poster on my wall. It was great.
What's funny is we have this chance to take over Depeche Mode's page, and the day I heard about that, I had just texted Chester, unsolicited, how dope is Depeche Mode? Just because I was in the gym working out in South America and they were playing all old school Depeche Mode videos. Yeah. And it just floored me how many great songs.
Well, I remember when we were working on our first, especially the first couple records, there were elements of songs like Crawling. I don't think Crawling would have been Crawling without the keyboard intro in the beginning of it, and that was us going man, how cool are those Depeche Mode songs where there's those instrumental hooks, right?
Even on I think on Living Things we were talking about Strange Love and the bridge, how important and impactful that bridge is, and it's probably the most memorable. One of the most memorable parts of any Depeche Mode song is the pain. Will you return it? I'll say it again. Pain. It's that's the spot, and we were like, we want to do something that has that kind of impact. And so, yeah, we often find ourselves like, what would Depeche Mode do? You know, moments.
And you got to remix one of the songs.
I did enjoy The Silence.
One of my favorite songs ever.
Enjoy The Silence.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're huge fans, and thanks to the guys in Depeche Mode for letting us take over the page, and good luck with the new music, the new
New record's
album,
fantastic, by the way.
touring, etc. We're big fans. Thank you.